Hello everybody, it's Kathleen from Crafting Time. Hope everyone is doing wonderful. It's been a day. Sorry to be on so late. I had a funeral that I had to go to, and it was a sad funeral, and it wasn't anybody we were expecting. It's just a friend of mine. Her son passed away, and was an organ donor, which was awesome. I'm thrilled. Nobody knew he was. He kept it to himself, so it kind of just brought in some just some touching stuff. My dad was a donor, and because of his health at the last minute of his life, turned for bad things, and he had to have, what do they call, medication that you can't give to other people type of thing. They couldn't accept his donations, which really just bummed us out because he was so proud of it. And so what I'm doing is just fixing my my little item that I have here. What I have is an anchor. I don't know if you can see it very well. Maybe if I put this behind it, you can see it a little bit better. As you see, it's just a Dollar Tree anchor. But this anchor it has a story. Did you know an anchor really has a story? Some anchors, not every anchor has the story. And I'll try to tell you the story as I go. Now, we always know that God is watching us, right? That's a big thing of our life, right? God's watching us. He's protecting us. He's guiding us. He even takes us home when it's so bad for us, right? At least that's my belief. And so, now when I was young, let me start back. I was young. My grandpa, who I always thought was not he was Christian, but not Christian. You know, I didn't know where he was. And I didn't know at the time either. But he always told me when he saw the anchor that this hole right here, you see that hole? I'll hold that up. Was the anchor of God's eye. All right? And then you never have to worry if you have an anchor. I got to move my things here. Sorry. Because the cross is always with you. Wherever you take your boat, you have God with you. He has his eye. He has the cross. And I always thought, well, why does an anchor have a U shape? And God, you know, my grandpa, he would tell me, it has that U shape because God's smiling at you. And these little arrows that are at the end of it are pointing upward, for you can look up instead of down. Now, it's a small, silly little story, but, you know, I've held on to that all my life. That this was the eye of God watching, the cross. You see, you can find things wherever you go. And then the smile of God telling you to look up. Right? Not a crazy little story? And I've always loved anchors because of that. That little story has made it where I felt good and very rewarded that I have that story. It's a silly story. As I got older, I realized an anchor, you know, maybe a story is right. Maybe it wasn't. It's kind of bent. So I'm just bending it up. I got tippy down just a bit so you can see what I'm doing. It had a big bend right here, so I bent it out. And I'm just checking it to see if it's going to lie flat. And that's my story, guys, and I'm sticking to it. I'm just trying to get this to been just a little bit better. This one side is like way off compared to this side. And I'm not that strong, but it's going to be fine. Hope everyone is doing well. Let me see if I can it says live chat, comments, overview, no. Huh. I don't know what I just did. Oops. Hi, Cynthia. Glad you made it. So, just to iterate, if I talk about the eye of this anchor, it is the eye. If I talk about the cross, this is the cross. The good Lord is always guiding us. And with the anchor being round, it gives the smile of God, and these arrows are telling you to look up. That is the story. Now, it's a silly story, but it's my story. Now, we're going to cover this anchor, but we'll still emphasize the cross of it. And we are going to, let's see, I need this to be stretched a little. I think this was going to be at the bottom. I was hoping I could use that one there, but I might have to, we'll save that piece just in case I screw it up. Because you know, and this one has, we're going to cut that off. This is where that paint, remember the other day the paint bottle slid off the table and went flying? So I'm just going to trim that off. That little bit ain't going to matter. We're just going to do an anchor tonight. My friend that's passed away, not my friend, but her son, I just, you know, we found out at the funeral that he was a donator. His mom, goodness sakes, I'm really just messing this up. She found out, of course, when she went to say her goodbyes. And, oh, there's paint on this side too. Man, I really did a nice job, guys, making a mess. So let's start with the anchor. Now we're going to stretch this out a little bit. Don't want to bald it, but and this is going to go just on the edge, like so. Hi, Yvette. Now I did kind of want to do my ends. Okay, so that's going there. We'll take this one. Could go right to that crop. And this will go right to that one. So that looks like it'll work. So I need about that much. Almost right in half. Now it might go over the edge a little bit. I'm not really cutting straight here, so. Save that piece. This is going to go here. Flip this around. I kind of wanted to wind this around that front part. While my hot glue is warming up, maybe I can do that. Just cut off a piece. You might have to piece it again. How is everyone tonight? I'm so excited for this event that we got coming up in June, guys. I don't know if you got your tickets yet. Some people have, not everybody has. And I understand not everyone can go, I understand. It is a little more spendy than what I was planning, but hey, I can't change the prices nowadays. I tried to negotiate. I'm just starting, and I hot glued it right to that bar. You see that? And then we're just going to do our simple wrap around. Whoops. Oh, one of those things, guys. One of those things. Oh, am I going to do that the whole time? Maybe if I turn it. If I turn it this way, maybe it won't stick. I hope each and every one of you guys can come to that. We are going to do some fellowship in there of a little bit different fellowship. I don't want to give away all my stuff right away. I want to wait till you're there. So I'm hoping this won't take as long to go around. I'm not going to go completely around, just to the edge there. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just pulling the string cording through. It's not string, it's cording right at the top. I believe Della gave me this last year, these anchors, because I wasn't able to get them and I really wanted them, so she sent me, I believe it was Della, I might be wrong, Della or Darlene. They both sent me gifts last year at that time, and I can't remember at this moment, and I had it wrote down, but that notebook's somewhere else. So I'm just circling out the eye, if you can see. That's what I'm doing here. Just gonna pop that up. Kind of pulling it tight, but not over tight. It's much easier with the shorter string. Cording, sorry. Having one of those days. I had a really busy day, actually. A fun day, though. Felt sad for one of my residents. He really wanted to dance, and I wasn't feeling up to it. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here and just come right by this bar here, because I want to come over to this side, and I'm going to do this side of that bar, and then I'm going to start this. And I'm hoping, I don't know, I'll probably have to add. Anyway, he really wanted to dance, and the gal he usually dances with, she got mad at him for something. It was kind of crazy. Anyway, I was still tired from my COVID stuff. I didn't want to wear out. I still had a half a day. And I was kind of tired all day today. For whatever reason. I don't know why. Anyway, he didn't dance, and he was very sad, and I just felt bad for him. And this gal usually dances with him, but she was mad at him. He must have did something. It's This cording's working rather nice. I'm going to have to split the end to probably get it to go all the way around. This is the eye of the anchor. That's what I call it. You can call it whatever you want. Look at it, didn't cut it long enough. Right at the top. Go figure. So I'm going to make sure that goes into the back. I'm going to glue it, and I'm going to loosen these up and slide it in there. Hopefully not burn myself. I was hoping it'd cool off a little bit. It did not. Just stick it right inside there. It's still a little warm, so maybe it will stick. We need a little bit more. Now, I don't know how you guys like to do anchors, but this is how I do it. This will be maybe a new experience for you. This one again, I'm going to tuck that underneath the best you can, and then wrap the rest, and then the rest will stick into that side with a little hot glue, of course. Not going to wrap the whole thing. I have a whole different plan. This is just for the eye of my anchor. Pulling it tight, but not too tight. That should work. I'm going to cut it off about right there. This we'll use again, don't throw it away. This is going to come up here. That's looking good on that side, and then we're going to stick it in that hole there. In between the two there, and then we're going to snaggle in some hot glue on that side. Where did the yellow come from? Oh, I got yellow on the bottom of that. Then I'm going to add a little hot glue up here, and then just kind of squish it. A little yellow there. I don't know what for. So that's the top. I'm going to tip you up again. So it looks like so. Okay? Easy peasy. Now, this part, we're going to do the long part first. I suppose you can't see. I don't know what's harder, me not seeing you guys, or what? So now I'm taking this. This is going to lay right here. Now we're going to be wrapping this again, but we're going to be using afterwards. We're going to be using this to to make it shiny. And this is going to go right on here, and it's going to glue. We're going to flip it over, get on there, and we're going to fold it right over these wires like so. So we got to make sure it's a little wider at the base here, so you got to keep that in mind. And I think we can cut that right off there as soon as I find my scissors. Just like so. So it's trimmed off to the wire, not the back wire, but the second wire. Right there. The second wire. These are so pretty when they're done. Now you're just going to put hot glue on this back wire. Right there. Make sure you have enough on both sides. And then you're just going to fold that over. And then also on this side. This one's just going to fold over there. They're very pretty. And then do the same thing on this side. Just go right over this wire and fold over your edge. And then this long wire here, you're going to do the same thing. So you have this finished look here. Don't worry about this part. This one's going to come across this way. But we got to attach the bottom here. So that's why we got all this green stuff on here. I had everything brushed off. Okay, now you're going to go on the smiley part. You're going to go right there and you're going to just lay this right on that smiley spot. Don't go too far out. Then you're going to just kind of pull and lay it on top. Flip it over and make sure it's attached. If it feels like it's falling off, just add a little bit more hot glue, stretch it, and fold it over to make sure it stays. Now don't forget, it's very thin stuff and you can burn yourself. I've done that lots of times. But don't let it scare you. And then do your corners of your arrow. At the bottom here, fold those corners in the best you can. It really helps. Just pull it right into those corners. So it's looking good. I'm going to do the same thing in this corner here. I want nice corners. And that one has a piece of black. Oh, ran out of glue. Just a minute. Glue and hot water. There we go. Maybe I better do all four corners. They seem to be a little loose. you got this look here. Now we're going to put the strip across the center here. And I know I had this one here. So that's going to go here. And I'm going to try to save as much as I can. Again, doing the exact same thing. A little bit on the edge and fold it in. I have my, what is that stuff called? Be careful. If you do one of these, be careful. I'm just folding it over the wire and gluing the wire and folding it over, and I'm pulling kind of tight, but not over tight. Don't forget you're going to do your corners. And I like to tuck that in. Tuck that in, and then I fold it over. Kind of like a present. Trying to get under that wire so it can stick. Stay. Kind of have to play with it because it gets kind of picky. So you see how nice and beautiful this corner looks now? It's all tucked in. The back looks like I glued the heck out of it, because I did. Okay. Now do the same thing over on this side. Take the hot glue off because it likes to stick on you. And I think I can cut a little off here. We're going to wrap this again after it's all neatly together here, and then we have to, I didn't glue the top there. Okay, so now we're just going to glue this edge again right over. I'm not using Gorilla Glue, guys. This is just the regular Arctic or what, Artec or whatever it is. I forgot what I bought. It's the Arctic glue. Very simple, right? No problems, right? Hi, Trisha Ann. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Wayne. How are you guys? Hello, hello. Glad everyone's making it in. Don't forget to sprinkle me out, because that's the only way I'm going to grow. Now, tuck your corners in first, and then pull this up and over. So, tuck your corners in. Now, I cut more off on this side, so it won't be such a problem like I had on the other side. I hope. And then tuck that over. Should have my finger protectors on. They're right there. Think I'll put them on? Nah. Okay, so now we got a nice looking cross, right? We're gonna fix this top here though. This is not pretty. And just kind of pull it up a little bit here and close up that little area here right on the edge. And then we're going to tuck in those corners here right on the under the eye part of it. Just grab that and tuck it down. So it looks Nice and neat. Now we got it wrapped here with the rope. This is not shiny yet. It will be. Something was hot there. Now this part here, you're gonna pull it up, and you're gonna kind of like blend out that severe line that you had from this one area, and you're gonna also do it down on the end. So you're gonna blend that. You don't even have to glue it if you don't want to, because you're gonna be wrapping this. So I'm just pulling this out and covering up that sharp line. Just neatly just slide it. So as you can see, my line is gone. It's very well blended on both ends. Super nice. Got another greenie there. All right. Then we have the smile end of it, and that's why I kept this long piece. And we're going to do the same thing. I want to make sure I have plenty. Oh, this side looks short. You might have to do the arrow with wrapping of the arrow ends. That's a little trickier because it's how can I do that? Just go right over the edge. There we go. That's exactly what we're going to do. Did you see that? So we're going to go right on this side. I'm going to move my leg so I don't burn myself, and put some right there. I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to leave a little bit of a hangover. Like so. I'm going to just drop that down. I'm going to flip it over this way, and I hope you'll be able to see. Now I'm going to fold it, the end, into the middle on that edge. Though there's not really a lot of place for it to go yet. Oops, I just pulled it off. I have to re-glue it. Gosh, I hope this works. I'm just following this line right across what I just glued. Like so. And now I'm just going to wrap it, add hot glue on all three corners or sides. That's not going to stay. I don't want to have to flip it each time. Guess I might have to. I'm going to glue it to the other arrow. Flip it. Hoping I can just kind of like glue the end of it. Just give me a second. This is the hardest part. Wrapping where there's no wrap to be wrapped. So now I'm just going to follow that white all the way around for my next row. Make sure you get your wires. Stick your finger in it. Only takes a brain. I'm just following this edge. Plenty of glue there. Just stuck. It's crazy how glue sticks in some spots and not others. Sticking to me. Doesn't want to stick. Stubborn. I'm just gluing it right next to the one that I just did. This took me a little longer than I anticipated. Don't you just love it when things just don't go the way you like it? Crap happens. Really wanted this back to be nicer than what it is, but we'll see. Again, follow your rope because there's nothing else to hold that on. This is taking me forever. And again, do the same thing on this side. I gotta start doing shorter projects. It will work. I'll do that one offline. Like so. I'm just following that arrow around. Unfortunately, I have to keep flipping it. I didn't cut my string, guys, so it's all one string. Front's looking nice. The back looks kind of goofy, but see, it's like I missed a whole row there. Don't know how I did because it's not missed on this side. Well, I wasn't anticipating this. I thought my thing would reach, and this will look cool anyway. I'm just doing the tip of the arrow, guys. Got about 4 more rows. 4 more flips. Oh, goodness sakes. Didn't stay. My hot glue is taking its time cooling. Just because I want it to stick. I'm right at the tip, so it'll be just seconds. Alright, and then we're going to cut that. I'm going to leave it a little bit long there. So now you can see how I added that on. Just wrapped it around. The hot glue cooled. Nothing on there. Thought I heard something up there, guys, but maybe not. And then I'm going to take a clip and I'm going to hold this end down like so. I'm not worried about that part. I'll do this one. I can do this one offline. I just want to keep you going here. So this is going to go here, just like what we did up here. Let's figure out how much we're going to need. This is a little bit too long here. I better wait. Well, we can probably do that. Now, just like how we tucked it in all around here, we're going to tuck in this as well. Now, you're going to have that sharp line here, so keep enough for you can pull it to blend it. Because once we wrap it with the shiny stuff, and we're using just basic tooling to wrap it, that will make it nice and shiny and beautiful. So I'm going to flip it over, make sure I have enough to pull over on both sides. I'll start on the weak side first. This part here, I probably can cut some of that off. Go. That should work. And this is the weekend. Now friends, you can use any color. You don't have, I'm going to use white. And it's because I made a project a while ago. Oh gosh, a very long time ago actually. That we're going to add to this. That's going to give it the color. It's looking pretty pale, as some people would say. I'm just tucking in my corners here now, making sure that they're tucked and not fuzzed. This one's a little bit fuzzed here, so I'm going to just kind of add a little hot glue there and just kind of tap it down. I tucked that corner in already. I'm just doing the wire. All you have to do is just do the wire part of it. Like so. And fold it over. Sure you tuck your corners. What just happened there? I suppose I hit something. There. I hit something on my computer. Alright, so you see how nice and tight that is? Looks really nice. On this side, you can see where I missed a row somehow. I don't know how I did, because it's not on this side. Alright. This has a little bit of fuzz there. I'm just going to fold that over. So you see how nice and tucked it is. Take these other little pieces off. Now the arrow is not going to matter because we're not going to be covering the arrow. But before you add on your tooling to make it shiny, we want to have the cross on there. So you already have your lines for your cross, and you're going to lay across. Now you can dye this if you wanted a little bit brown, which I kind of wanted to do. Where did I put my dye? Because I don't have any other color right now. Do I? I got bright red. It's not okay. So I'm going to take a baby wipe. I'm going to slide this over real quick. And we're going to dye. Let's see, we're going to need one. Just doing a measure. This long. We're just going to make a cross. We're just going to dye that. And then, so this one will go here once it's dyed, like so. And this one will go on to the end of that, right where that black wire is. Now you still might see some of your wires, guys. I wouldn't let that really bother you. Really won't. Alright. Now, just going to use a little. Not going to need a whole lot. Take that. And just keep running it through. This is how I do it, friends. You can do it whatever way you think might work for you. If you want it darker, you know, you could soak it in tea. Super cool. Just like so. I'm going to add another dot. And this is gel stain. And it gets done. Now it's not going to be too dark, but you're going to be able to see it. I'll give this one just a little bit more. Very simple way of dyeing. Now wipe your hand off, because that's what happens. And I put my wipes where? And then we're just going to hot glue that right down, just like I showed you. And just let me wipe this off, because you get kind of dirty. You know, if I don't get dirty, something's wrong, right? Okay. Baby wipes are so nice. My other wipes all dried out on me, guys. Had it in the container. I hadn't even opened it. Opened it up and it was solid dry. Okay. Let me look clean enough to continue on. Just checking. Don't look at my cut. Somebody cut her finger. Won't say who. All right, long one first. This one has more white, so I'm going to put that one towards the bottom and the dark on the top. And it's going to go right across the center. And just follow your line. You'll see it the best you can. And of course you're going to lay this down on that line as straight as you can. That looks pretty good. Tucking it around that corner, and then this one's going to tuck around this corner over here. Hold it for just a second. So now you can see the line, right? Hopefully it's straight. It's probably as straight as I can get it. Got a little hot glue thingy there, so I'm just going to cut that out. I'll still do this corner just like this one, but this part won't matter. Okay, now this one is going to come right across, again, right on the bar. And this side here is very weak in the sure you give enough. I better put a little more right in the middle here. This is usually where it doesn't. I pull it tight. Aim for the bar. You can feel the bar. So it looks like so. Now you can start seeing the cross. And then again, you're going to tuck this over into the back. Might have to hold it for a second. Ooh. Stick your finger right in the hot glue. It's required. I'm so good at it. Isn't that super cute? Now see, this side is puffing out, so I'm going to have to add a little hot glue and reattach that. And that happens when you use batting. Sometimes I call it springboards. That's what I call springboarding. Like so. Okay, now I'll show you how to wrap it. I'll rewrap that later. You know what it's going to look like. It's going to look like that. But I'll show you this so you can see how beautiful this is going to look. Now basically you're going to do exactly the same thing, but you're not going to cut your tooling. You're going to just wrap it right around, and it's going to give you a clear. You could, if you wanted, and I got plenty to do it that way. Some people like to fold it and wrap like so, but I don't want all those wrinkles. I want it nice and flat and shiny. So we are doing it like so. You might have to make a little slit in the corners. Make sure I have some hanging over. Won't need so much hanging off here. Stop. And I'm going to wrap it. Now this is going to just tighten up so as you see. Now I'm going to pull this down. Again, just, I think I have to do, oh, fold it on me, that's why. It's like, where did it go? I'm so blind. So I'm going to cut those just a corner inward, just kind of straight. There. And then right here as well. So now you can just fold it and glue it, just like you did the first time, except for now it's the tooling. And talk about getting burned. Just be careful. And I usually add 2 lines. And I don't do anything but just lay it across. Two lines of glue. And it's thin enough that if you touch it, you are going to get burned. So as you see, it's nice and smooth there, and you can see your line. I'm going to just kind of tuck that straight down. I want it nice. This one will come across here, but we're doing the center one first. So all that extra little line that you had, all that little extra fuzz, don't worry about it. Now right in the center here, you're going to have to kind of cut it at an angle to match your curve of your cross. And again, glue it down. Careful. And this cleans up that whole fun stuff, all that batting. See how already it's neatened up the edges. It's not fuzzy like it is up here. It's not quite dry here. They come out very shiny. I don't know if the camera gives it any justice at all. And I'm going to cut some of this off, probably just enough to fold over the edge. And that went in my recycle box. I'm just doing one line here. Just kind of rocking that glue right into the fold. Try not to remelt the glue you just put on. Okay, so now as you see, the whole bottom is neat. This area is nice and neat. All that. This one popped off, so I'm going to just add a little glue on the back here. Lay that down because I pulled it too tight. All right. Now we have this piece here. Same way, guys. Except for you're not going to see the doubleness, because this stuff is so thin. So just lay it across. Again, you're going to have to cut your corners. Leave a little, about an inch over the edge and an inch over this edge. And if I only could see. I love my blue mat, but I find a hard time seeing on it. And I love my black mat. I have a tendency to make colors on it. If you know what I mean. Okay, so now I'm going to cut my corners so I can tuck those in. I'm going to cut it kind of at an angle in all four corners, but not all the way to the center here, just you know, to the white. Good, it didn't move. There it did. So you have this section right here. I don't know if you can see it. This section here is going to glue down. And I like to do that part first. And you don't see it at all, guys. It blends in so well that you don't see it. Now, you don't pull it too tight. And then you're going to take the same ones up here, the ones that are on the long end, and you're just going to fold that corner right in. And it might not be right at the corner. It might be a little higher up because of how it's cut, because you cut it at an angle. Sticks to me just great. Okay, so now we got the top and the bottom glued. Now it's to do our sides, just like you just done the long part. Same way. Just fold it over. And if you find it too long, cut it. Just make sure that you have your corners covered. And this part here is way too long, so I'm going to cut some of this off so I don't have to deal with all of that. just like a present. I'm wrapping a present, guys. I'm going to do my sides first. Now this is much thinner, so you can just do probably one strip. It should hold it. And then one strip on the other side, of course. And this mesh, guys, the glue goes right through it. Now, tuck in your corners. Poke in your corners like you're wrapping a present. And that will make a nice, oops, stuck my finger right in that hot glue. Wasn't that smart? Goodness sakes. And I'm going to pull that, hot glue that. This is usually where I get burned. Got that all glued down. And I like to use the back of my nail to make sure it stays. Nothing worse than having a thing go, if you know what I mean. Now making sure that it looks nice. I have a little wiggle here. Look at that. That little squirt. And that's what it does. It just comes and gets in your way. This is going to be so pretty. It's going to be shiny. It's going to be very white. But I made something last year, guys. Right after Cynthia Green and I started with Chocolate, I think it was in July. Don't quote me on that date. And I made a heart when I got back. I believe it's when I got back. And this is what the heart looks like. And I haven't done anything with it. I didn't even paint the other side, guys. This is just one of those Dollar Tree hearts. And I Chocolate green. And then I went over it with the gold. And came out like so. And that's going to go on top of this. And I'll show you that in just minutes. This is super, super pretty. So I'm tucking in my corners. Remember, hot glue will spread out. Look at it, it's popping up on me. It doesn't have to do that. And then you run out of hot glue. I'm so good at running out of hot glue. Ah. I'm just going to paint that down since it doesn't want to stay. I don't know why I don't want to stay, but hey. Stay now. Behave yourself. It should be all melted. Back of my nail works just fine. So see, it's nice. I have a little bit of a pucker here, so let me just puck that out. And that's what happens when you play with it, guys. Because you can't see the glue. So now it's nice and shiny. I have just this bottom here to do. And guys, I really haven't used a whole lot of material on this. It seems like I have because it's so big, but truly, there's not that much material on this. Okay, so now, when you do the bottom of your arch, of your arrow, of your anchor, you're going to hang it off as low as you can, for it can curve underneath. But you need enough to hang across. So I always say go to your point of your arrow. Then you should have enough to tuck around all around it. Do you see that? See how I went almost to the point here? If it's just stay there, there, and there. That gives me enough to tuck. I just pulled it out of my hand. Hold on. Trying to show you guys, and my hands are acting up. Like so. So anyway, this point to this point. That will give you enough to tuck in your tooling. And I start on the bottom. Now remember, you already hot glued the center, that this is the outside. And if you put hot glue on that spot, you might unglue it. So just be aware. And I start in the center. And stick your finger right in the hot glue. So smart. I'm so smart. Just drives me nuts. Make sure this stays up on that side. Now you're doing a curve, so your corner is going to be higher here. You'll have more in the corner here than you will in the center, because it's a curve. And same over here. You're going to have a higher corner here because of the curve. Now that one just kind of like got carried away here. Look what that just did. And the back of your nails really do a good job, just like pushing it down. And it doesn't hurt as much as your fingers. Now, kind of like pull it up. Now cut your corner here. And cut it at excuse me, at an angle again. Don't let go of that angle, and put this, glue it right on. Before you lose your corner. And again, do that same thing over on this side. Oh, can't cut that way. What is my problem? Don't answer. It's a Kathleen thing. Okay, and just, I held on to that corner. That's the part that gets glued first. So you do your whole bottom and then your two corners. Now you can glue this right over, and it will be beautiful. Beautiful. Now, stick your finger right in the hot glue for it unsticks. I want to check to make sure it's not over wrinkled. I don't like wrinkles on these kind of things, guys. You want it as neat as possible. And usually if it's too long, like this one's just a tad too long here, that it's making it wrinkle. You don't want wrinkles. You want it to be fancy. Totally fancy. It's going to be beautiful. Now, I'm sorry I used white. I could have done this in different colors, because white is so hard to see the fanciness of it. I didn't do this side. And again, I'm just holding it down, keeping it tight. Now I still know I have to wrap that corner. It's going to be wrapped just like this one. It might even turn out better. So now you have the crosses there. You have the eye of your, like I told you earlier, this is where God is watching you. This is where He died. He smiled because you're His child, and He's telling you to look up. That is what an anchor means to us. And He's the anchor of our soul and of our heart. And I add in my heart like so. And depending on how you want it, some people put it on like so. Some people will put it on this way. Move my hand where it just sits on like so. Some people like it that way. Some people will lay it down like so, depending on what you're looking for. Some people will glue the heart. Sorry, I'm trying to see and look at the same time, so I have it straight for you. Where's the center? There we go. Some people will glue it on just like so as well, and it looks so pretty. Some people will put it on just one shoulder, you know. Some people do one shoulder. But there's so many ways. Now if you decide you don't want to make a heart so big, you could use a small little heart, paint it red, and you can put it right in the center. Doing well with my center, just like so. There's a lot of varieties, and what's nice about it, even if it's just on the wall with this one done, it will look just fine because it's very shiny, very pretty. So now I'm going to wrap this end. I haven't really figured out which way I want my heart to go. I do know I have to paint the back, because see, this is just that paper. I wonder if I could peel that off. Well, I could soak it off, but then my whole thing would come off. I'll just paint that. So I'm just going to do this corner here, and then we're going to be all done. And I'm starting again on the back. And I'm going to do it just like I did that one. At least that's my goal. And I stuck my finger right in the glue. Gosh, I'm terrible. I'm following that line. I'm going right over my edge of my line here. Making sure I have glue, because that's the first line. some of that part off. Now I'm just following my line all the way around. Just the edge, because there's nothing to glue on but the edge. I said this one's probably going to turn out best. That's just the way it is. And the closer you can get it, the prettier it's going to look. Just ask Wayne. He made these Christmas balls. Oh, I just love them. He did a beautiful job on them, guys. Some people have patience. Kathleen doesn't always have patience. The ADHD just happens to come in and just make me have problems. Okay, again, just follow that line all the way across that arrow. The line that you just wrapped around. You know what I didn't do, guys? I almost did a huge error with our retreat. I forgot to put the deposit, send the deposit with it. Whoops. I think I need a secretary. That would have been a bad situation. Either way, it's very expensive. But we're going to have fun. Don't forget to get your tickets. It's in June, guys. If you haven't got the I don't have everybody's email, so you have to send me your email. You can either do that by texting me or by email itself. My email is up there, my phone number is up there, so you guys can easily send me messages and text messages and stuff. Just make sure you tell me who you are. Just don't send me your phone number, and I won't know who you are. I can't even correctly bill you then. So make sure you do that. End of June, guys. You'll be home just in time for the 4th of July. I have some extra flap here, so we're going to cut that off. Right here. It's just like right in my way. That's better. And you're going to have, in our retreat, we are going to have meals. We're going to stay in our area. We're going to have a cash bar during lunch, or not lunch, I'm sorry, dinner. for a couple of hours. And that's for the people that like to drink. I'm not a big drinker. Once in a while I like to have a glass of wine or something, but that's about it. Nothing big. Believe me, I don't have a full glass either. I'm a weakie. Nope. Oh, this is going to be so beautiful. And guys, if you don't have a heart and you don't want to use a heart, you can use flowers. Let me show you those in just a second. Grandma had one, well, it wasn't this kind. She actually had a real anchor that she redid from their first boat that they got. And that was really cool, actually. And she decorated that thing like beautiful. And then the rest of it all, oh, it was so cool. Wish I could show you guys. I don't even have pictures of it. I only have memories. Both of my grandmas were very crafty. And my mom, man, she could sew anything. She could do it. My mom was amazing. She could do so many things. She way more than I ever do. But she was a person that could make things from nothing to something. And that was something I caught from my mom. You can just make things happen. But I'm a public speaker. My mom wasn't. That was probably the only thing my mom wouldn't do is public speak. If she had to, she would. But believe me, it wasn't often. She would pass that right on to me, and then our dad, or mainly me. I don't know. I guess I was the big mouth. My sister did all the kind of secretarial style work. I guess people didn't bother me. Of course, I started really young, speaking in front of big doctor groups and stuff when I was sick. I'm just pushing this down so it stays. Almost to the tip, guys. And I am letting it curve in, you know, so it can stick to me real well. Now, I do let my crafts sit for a day before I actually really put anything on my walls, most of the time, and that's because it sometimes will buckle, or something will be too, you know, come unfluffy or something. So I let it get to its natural cool down, and then it's so much better. It's gonna be so pretty. I'm right at the tip again. That didn't take us. That one took longer. It fought me more. You know, guys, sometimes I wish you could change things and have your family all come back. My parents have been gone for quite some time, and I miss them dearly. In fact, this Valentine's, my mom will be gone 20 years. My goodness, it's unbelievable. My dad will be gone 12. That's crazy. Feels like just yesterday. Sweet. This is so pretty. I gotta burn that in. Melt it in. So it covers. There. Now look how cute that is. It's very nice. Doesn't look like a piece of wire anymore, though you can see the wire here and there. And depending on what you want to do, if you want to, you know, now these are just sunflowers, but you can add flowers to the center. That looks beautiful as well. Here's some red ones. Maybe you'd rather have red ones. Some people prefer red. Maybe not quite that many. I just do a few. Like mine, I think I'm going to add it something like so. It has that. I'll probably go like so, and then I'll add a nice bow to go here. The ring, the heart of love. I don't usually glue them on because once it's on the wall, you know, it's going to be held out from this because it's not flat no more. You have that little bit of a give. You see what I'm saying? Let's see, do I have some red? I do have some red. Do I have, I'm seeing if I had my purple here. Red would probably be better, right? Doesn't quite match. And you could also, if you didn't want to use a heart or something like this, I'm not sure if I really like this on there actually. I had to find something for that. You can do bend this kind of style as well, where you add that out. It's easier to work with, you know, and adding stuff like that. A looser, this has wire in it, so it's a little bit harder to work with to have it just maneuver. What is my problem tonight? Can crease it into a heart in itself, like so. Then stay there. And then in the back, I'm going to give this a twist. For the gold comes in the front. Give this one a twist as well. Don't cut myself this time. I did cut myself on my finger. And then you glue these two together. Oh, it did come out. Let's see. A simple, fun little heart like that works as well too. There's so much you can do to this. Now maybe you want a little white here. You could do that. Or maybe you want a raggedy bow. I don't have a raggedy bow. I just knocked something down. Kind of good at that. Here's a colorful rosy deal. Now none of this is permanent. I have not attached it. It's just hung on there, okay? It's just, it can be interexchanged throughout the your whole thing. Now this has a little fancier bow or flower there. That looks really cute. You could even add another one down here. And I don't add much glue, just like a dot, so I can just unheat it. And I could take this off if I wanted to. I make it very universal. So therefore, I can, you know, change it around. If I don't want it to look like this, maybe at Easter, maybe I'll go purple. Put purple flowers here. Maybe Valentine's Day, I think I'll stay very simple like this. Oh, it was my heart that fell. Well, isn't that just amazing? So my heart doesn't want to go on here. Typical. You can, I'm just giving you ideas now. No, it shouldn't be attached to anything. My goodness sakes. I'm attached somewhere here. Just a minute. Gracious. How did I make this such a mess? Well, just a minute. I had to make a mess. I made a knot. What? But anchors, guys, are so cool. And like I said, that little story that I told you, that's really how every time I see an anchor, that is what I think of. The top of your, what am I stuck on? Oh, it's the Valentine heart deal. Let me just cut that off. I'll deal with that later. There, that's how you fix that problem. Okay, so now you have like this ribbon here, or garland. If you don't want to have all this on it, you could easily, and I'll just do the bottom, wrap the vine around, as you see. Those look really nice. But for today and this week of Valentine's, I'm probably going to keep it simple, just like this. I might paint a heart and add a glitter heart right here. Or maybe even put it right in the center. I haven't quite decided, but this is my basic. This is what it is. So, you have your eye. You have the cross. You have the smile of God telling you to smile. And what else? Look up. It's pointing upward. It's not pointing down. If you have a anchor that has the down hooks, you're supposed to throw those away, according to my family. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this little craft. It is fun. It is different. And yet it's still the same. You have to make your own interpretation out of your crafts that you do. This is the back of it, so you can see the wire. But on the front, it looks very nice. Super cool. So everyone have a lovely night. I will see you all tomorrow. I will be earlier tomorrow. Tonight I had the funeral, so I had to go to that. But and I was sad, so I took a little extra time to get on because I just didn't want to be crying. But anyway, everyone have a super night, and we will see you tomorrow about 7:30ish, right in there. And we can craft pretty much the whole night because it will be Friday night. Yay! It's finally here. I so love Fridays. So everyone have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.